Hi, this is Josh Ibarra, and this is my Module 17 for AEP 858, Data Protocol. As far as a graphic and plan for continuous improvement, I think I would keep it as simple as possible. Data collection, data analysis, data implementation. Um, I think that keeping it simple allows it to be easily adapted to whatever you want to use it for, and I think that this covers about everything here. Data, first you're going to collect your data, you're going to analyze your data, and then you're going to figure out ways to implement it to improve your current situation. The graphic I use is circular because I believe that it is continuous and it's repetitive, and this is something that's going to be ongoing with whatever you are doing. So that's that. As far as an actual document, I would have something that can be shared on Google Doc, on like a Google Doc or a Google Sheet that is organized, and I would be collecting. I'd have our data there, maybe even on this. Um, so we could either look at the state sites for our state assessment data, or I could have already gone through and put this information on the particular Google document. So if we did a sheet, then each tab could be, a different year. And then from there, you'd have your math, your science, ELA, maybe your demographics, or some of your behavioral stuff, and then any other factors you believe are affecting your data, um, or impacting your data, I guess could be a better term there. And then from there, it would be a lot easier to analyze that data. So looking at our scores compared to state averages, compared to similar schools, looking at what factors may be affecting our scores. So going back to demographics or free and reduced lunches, kids that we notice aren't eating breakfast at school, and we know that they're probably not eating breakfast at home, whether that be through just talking to the kid or having experienced maybe a sibling in the past. But I think that early on it's about getting that data collected, getting it organized, and that's what this sheet would be for. Organizing that data, since we don't have a data collection kind of website or anything working for us. And then how do we improve outside of basic responses? So how do we take control? What must we improve on, and what is our timeline on meeting our goals? So how do we take control? It's a lot easier when you're dealing with just data that has to do with scores, because you can look at it and say, okay, we need to beef up certain parts of algebra or certain parts of geometry, or we need to work on our reading more than we have in the past, or maybe our writing, or yada yada yada. But if you're looking at those outside influences, whether it be sleep or whether or not they're eating at home, whether or not their parents or their home life, whatever that, if it's a bad situation that they're in, that's where it gets kind of tricky. But if you have kind of a background and history on the kid, then that, and it's there, and the teachers can see that, then they can go, okay, I get why this kid didn't test as well now. As far as timeline on meeting goals, that's something that has to be decided by, I think, your departments, whether it's English or math or social studies or science or whatever the case, needs to be decided on by them. And then with maybe some input from the administration. The administration needs to be involved in all of this as well. But I think that's, if we look at it, and the English department looks at it and says, well, wow, our writing scores are really low. Our reading scores are okay, but the writing scores are really low. We need to look at, okay, what are we doing reading wise that's working? And then how can we get our writing scores up? How long do we think it's going to take? They're the ones that are going to know best. And then sit down with the administration, go over that, and then go from there. As far as how would teachers react to having this protocol, I think they would like it. I think having something to not only write or fill in as we're going through data, but also something that they can refer back to, something they can look at and see maybe other teachers' input and ideas, I think would be huge. A lot of times, I know here we look at data and we can kind of see going through the years, okay, this group has tested really well, or this group has tested not so well, but we have no idea other than maybe a few teachers saying, "Oh yeah, that's a good group. Oh yeah, this is no." If we could refer back to, okay, what's going on with this group of kids? Well, this group of kids just is there's more kids in here that are on free and reduced lunch, or there's more kids in here who have moved in recent years, or there's more kids in here who have whatever. Then we have that document. We can go back to it at all times. We can look at it and kind of go from there. So. Um, Hope this works, and thanks.